Hi everyone, please don't forget to subscribe, like and share my channel. That will help me to create more such videos. So in last few videos we have seen different fuzzers like AFL, WinAFL, LibFuzzer, HongFuzz, etc. And we have also created our simple C program which we have been fuzzing using all these fuzzers, and we also seen how do we do root cause analysis and crash triage. So in this video, we are going to talk about what is AFL++ and how do we compile it, how do we install it, and then we will see how do we fuzz our simple damn vulnerable C program using AFL++. So first thing you need to do is that you need to git clone the AFL++ repo, and this is the URL for AFL++, that is github.com AFL++, and when you open this site you can see the repo over here. So what you need to do is just simply click on the code, copy the repo URL, and then go to your system and simply do a git clone, that is git clone, and URL you have copied. So in my case I have already cloned AFL++ repo on my local system, so I'm getting this message that destination path already exists. But in your case, if you don't have AFL++ repo, then it should be able to clone the repo on your system. And now when you go to AFL++ directory, you can see that it contains a lot of code of different modules, and it has a lot of files like libafl driver, etc. So there is AFL Winetrace, AFL WhatsApp, AFL tmean, AFL cmean. So you will see a lot of files over here. There is also a Docker file over here. So if you don't want to install from scratch, what you can do is that you can simply download the Docker file, and the instructions are clearly mentioned on this AFL GitHub URL. So if you go there, you can simply run this simple command, that is docker pull AFL++ /AFL++, and then you can run that Docker image, docker run -ti-v what is your target, and AFL++ over here. But I have not tried it as of now. I have manually installed it. So if you want to build AFL, you can follow the command mentioned over here. So you can simply copy this command, and you will notice that it uses sudo. It install a lot of dependencies like build essential, python 3 dev, automake, flex, bison, libglib2 dev. So if you remember bison and libglib2, we need this library for Camu mode as well. If you are following my videos, we installed this library in our last videos for Camu mode. And there's libpixman, clang, python 3 setup tools, clag, llvm, libstd dev, etc. And then you can simply do make dist and sudo make install. So there are different make option which you can use. For example, this make distribution, it will build instrumentation, Camu mode, unicorn mode, and everything it will basically do. So if you only want to use the instrumentation, then you can do make source only. So that will avoid making Camu mode or unicorn mode over here. So depending on your needs, you can compile it. But I generally do all this support like Camu and unicorn. That will be helpful. And sometimes you get some dependencies issues, but that will be simple to solve at your own. You can simply do some googling. So in my case, I found one issue where if I give libstd c++ dev, then it gives me some message that select a proper version. So in my case, I need to change this a little bit. I need to use libstd ++-pan-dev, and it installed it perfectly fine. So let's go ahead and install it by copying this command. I am not going to cover theory in this video. I really plan to cover theory in the later part of my videos. But right now we'll only see how do we compile and install AFL++ and how do we fuzz a simple C program using that. So I will simply copy and paste the command, and I will hit enter. So I have all the libraries installed, on my system, so I don't need to install anything extra. As I mentioned that libstd++ was giving me some issues, so you can actually change it to this, that is libstd C++ -10-dev, or 9 or 8, whatever you want, but I always prefer to use the latest version, so I have installed this. And once you have done this, you can simply run second command, that is make distribution or sudo make dist. So I will do a make distribution over here, and then it is going to take few minutes, so we need to wait till the compilation has been successful, and we can then simply do sudo make install. That will install everything. So I'm going to stop the video now, and I will start it again once it is compiled and it is installed, because it is going to take a few minutes at least. So you can see that right now it is trying to install QEMU. It is installing QEMU. It has downloaded the QEMU, and then it is trying to compile it, and it will install it. It is still compiling QEMU, and we need to wait for some more time. So you can see that it has created a file afl-qemu-trace. It is doing some testing, and build seems to be successful. So after QEMU mode, it will install Unicorn module for this, and that will also take some time, as you can see it over here. So you can see that it is still compiling Unicorn module over here, and it is compiling different files over here. You can see x86 and all, MIPS, PPC. So these are the different CPU architecture. If you want to fuzz an executable of which is of different architecture, then you can use Unicorn mode. I will be doing more videos on this later on, so let's wait till the compilation gets over. So here you can see it has generated a lot of file for different architectures. So during the compilation, you will see a lot of such warning messages. Just ignore them, and your compilation should be successful. Okay, it is almost finished for us. So let's wait for maybe a few more seconds, and then we can simply do a sudo make install. Okay, it's done. There was some error. I need to install one dependency file, but it is working so far, so I'm ignoring it right now. And now you can see that the compilation has been successful, so we can simply do sudo make install, and it will install all the required executable on our system, and then we can use it to fuzz. So you can see that I have LLVM 10 plus 11 over here. And so this was the missing dependencies which I need to install, that is GCCX plugin -dev. And it's done. So what is the different from AFL over here is that AFL++ comes with a new wrapper, that is AFL-CC. If you just type that command, you can see all the available option and all the configuration over here, like you can see it over here. So looks like at my system LLVM LTO mode is not available. I have LLVM mode available over here, and I don't have GCC plugin, so this is the plugin I have discussed few minutes back. I need to install that, and so I have simple GCC or CLink, so I can use AFL GCC or AFL CLang over here. So what you can do is that you can simply use AFLCC and let it use the default compiler. So in my case, I will first show you the source code of the program, that is a imageread.c. So this is the program which we have been fuzzing in all our fuzzing video series. It has a simple header structure over here, where header is of 4 bytes. It has width and height which is of type integer, and it has a data which is again of type character, and it is of 10 bytes. And what this program does is that inside the main, it simply calls a process image function with the pass parameter, and that parameter is actually a file name. So inside the process image function, it opens that file. I try to read some data into this structure, and then it performs a lot of operations, like it adds height and width, it allocates some memory. So it has a lot of vulnerable condition over here. I think you may already familiar with this program. If not, then you can go to my GitHub repo and you can go through the source code yourself. And so it has a lot of vulnerable condition, and your program should crash when it processes a malform file. So this is all the program was. And now, so let's compile this program using our AFLCC. So the command is afl-cc app sanitize is equal to address undefined, as we used in AFL and everywhere else. GDDB is just to enable debugging mode. Optimization is 0, then your source file name and your output file name, and simply hit enter. So you can see that just 1 minute, I am running it from the incorrect directory. So now it should come. Yeah, now our program should be able to compile. You can see that it gives a message instrumented at 76 location with no collisions, non-hardened mode, and our file has been generated over here. So we can simply do AFL++ over here. I will just show. So yeah, so our executable is working perfectly fine, and now we can simply fuzz it using AFL++. So the command is same as AFL. I will just show you the command. So this is the command, that is afl-fuzz-i, then your input directory name, -o, your output directory name, -m, there is none because we have compiled it using asyn, and -- your executable file name, and @ parameter. So this @ parameter means at the runtime it will replace this with the file name. So let's run our command and see if AFL++ is able to find any crashes or not. And yeah, so you can see that there is slight UI changes over here. It actually by default select fast power schedule over here. This is from AFL fast, and it has AMOP mutator. So it uses that. You will see a lot of this message, AMOP havoc, AMOP slice, etc. Then it also has option for Python or custom mutator, which you can use it over here. And so AFL++ has a lot of features, and it is not possible for me to discuss it in this video, but be sure that I will be going and creating next couple of videos dedicated to AFL++, talking about their different features. We'll see it in the next few videos. So you can see that it has found a lot of crashes over here. The total crashes are 42, out of which 5 are unique crashes. And so I'm going to cancel this AFL+ now by pressing Ctrl+C, and we will simply see one crash. So the command will be AFL+, and if or before that, let's see the output directory structure over here. If you go to the out directory, you will see that it has a default folder. This is something different from the AFL. So let's go and see default over here and see what does it contain. So inside the default, you can see that it contains the same directory structure as we have seen in AFL, and that is crashes, command line, fuzz bitmap, fuzzer setup, fuzzer states, hangs folder, plot data and queue folder. So this is the similar, only change over here is that it contains one default directory over here. And so now let's try to replicate one or two crashes. So we'll go to out, then default, and crashes, and let's see what does it contains. ID 0. Okay, I was in wrong directory, sorry. So inside crashes, we will just select the first file, and you can see that it's a large malloc failure over here. This is something we've been seeing in our previous video. So this is the first case. It is maybe because of integer overflow over here. And let's try and see the second one. How does it crash? So you can see that it is a stack buffer overflow over here. Yeah, and let's try one more. So I'm not doing any root cause analysis because I covered this in my previous videos. And the third crash is because of division by 0 error over here. So you can see width is 1024, height is 0, so that is why it is crashing. And so that's all I have for this video. In this video we have seen how do we install AFL++ and how do we fuzz a simple C program using AFL++. Stay tuned for more videos, and please do like, subscribe and share my channel. That will help me to create more videos. Thank you, and if you have any questions or comment, feel free to ping me on Twitter or post it on the YouTube channel, and I will try my best to answer that. Thank you and goodbye.